whatever.
I was gonna say, as long as it's not like a Matt Gates dick pic, I think you're fine.
No.
You know what I would love it to be
Welcome,
though?
everybody.
I would love it to be the video you sent me last night. I would love for that to be the thing that accidentally gets shown.
Um,
Because I think that would be vastly more embarrassing than any dick pic.
for me, yeah. Yeah, last night I was just messing around with Kyle and
Oh, dude, you don't have to tell people. I wasn't gonna spill the beans.
I don't know if I was going to either, but anyways, it wasn't only some Gunther guy could have made it inappropriately
Adam
wildly
has been
inappropriate.
Adam has been experimenting with different ways to eat bananas, and
Don't ever joke around with your friends on video.
He sent it to me. I was like, delete this right away. Like, don't even take a chance on getting hacked.
The thing is, like, when you said that, I was like, okay, delete this right away. But I know Sam's not going to delete it, so okay.
Oh yeah, it went into the blackmail folder.
I know it's your compromat folder. Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. If you are on Substack, feel free to also come over to YouTube so comments show up. Otherwise, I'm just gonna do what I can to move comments over. Sam, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I just thought of another joke to tack onto that exchange. I was gonna say that the PNP tape stands for Parkamenko.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. We're just gonna pile on today. Would you like to start with why the palm tree is missing behind you?
Oh yeah, I had to chop it down for firewood because Trump fucked up the economy.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. Y'all know I'm injured, and every week I set up a studio here in my kitchen because this is like a blank wall behind me. And as part of that, I like move a little table over here. I move the palm tree over. That's harder to do on crutches. So I figured y'all would be understanding that the palm tree is not with me this morning. I mean, it actually is. It's just on another side of the room. But yeah, like I have a whole
pretty
thing.
understanding.
Yeah, I have a whole thing. Like I moved the surfboards. I set up my laptop on a. Actually, this isn't. My laptop is open, but only to use as a phone holder.
Oh, nice.
So
So Sam needs a phone holder for Christmas.
I have one. I don't know. I just for some reason a laptop just seems more sturdy.
You have one. It's propping up your kitchen table.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
With the napkins that we all need. So what's happening?
You're getting a good sense of what my place looks like. Yeah.
Just trying to paint a picture for what's behind that screen there.
Yeah, it ain't pretty. No, actually, it's okay. I did some holiday decorating, so I'm feeling pretty good about things. Look, man, everything's a fucking mess. There's all kinds of shit we can talk about that'll get your blood boiling. But I thought one thing we could start with today is making fun of Mike Little Johnson. Many people are saying that he's had such an embarrassing morning that his tiny wiener just fell right off.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy.
On the first semi-warm day in Washington, D.C.
I know. It was actually Jake Sherman who noticed it when he heard a little bink sound as it hit the ground. Okay, I'm making it up. That's not actually what happened. Mike Johnson was on television this morning talking about how.
Sorry, here you go. These are all.
But yeah, yesterday Mike Johnson announced there's not going to be a vote on health care before the end of the year, which means House Republicans would be officially doing jack shit to help Americans on who are on the Obamacare exchanges to help them with the subsidies, which means for a lot of people double, even triple premiums. Mike should have checked in with his caucus before making such grand pronouncements, because this morning 4 Republicans announced they were going around him to join Democrats in signing a discharge petition to force a vote on a 3-year extension of the subsidies, which is huge and would be a huge Christmas present for a lot of people out there who are hurting or just not signing up for the exchange because the cost of premiums. So yeah, Mike Johnson trying to get that dagger out of his back and pick his little wiener up off the floor after a very rough morning. You have to believe if they voted for Speaker again right now, he probably wouldn't have the votes. Everyone from Mike Lawler to Marjorie Greene has had it with him. They're calling him out. I mean, look,
And you have to imagine that the vote is going to be higher than what we saw with the discharge position, because Marjorie Taylor Greene wasn't even on that.
Oh yeah, I think it'll be a jailbreak once it happens. The big question then becomes, what does the Senate do? It looks like John Thune will slow walk this till next year because these assholes don't actually care about anything and they mostly just want to get out of there for another vacation. But we are moving in the right direction, and I'll tell you something. It's not easy for me to eat crow. But you got to hand it to Hakeem Jeffries. This was well played from the very beginning. He resisted efforts at compromise. He held the line on the subsidies, and he's standing strong while Mike Little Johnson is crawling back up Trump's orange ass. And yeah, props to Hakeem.
When you said eat crow, I thought you were going to talk about your 11-minute turnaround this morning from when there was one vote to when they had 218 votes.
Well, it was funny. Adam and I were texting this morning, and Adam's like, "Dude, I think they're going to get this discharge petition." I was just like, "No way!" I'm so cool. I know everything. And then, like 2 seconds later, the really funny thing was we were both getting our news on this from Punchbowl, which is why I got it wrong and Adam got it right.
I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of which, hold on, let me put this comment back up on the screen. Of course, it's free.
Yeah, I don't know. You froze up there for a second, and I did the airplane mode thing, so it's not me.
Yeah, no, it's not you. I was saying, speaking of Punchbowl, let me put this back on the screen, and then I froze. I don't know if that's like some type of omen or something. But anyways, that maybe that comment will just stay there. The rest, I don't know.
I don't see it. Jake Sherman would definitely know what. That's great. Oh man, yeah, he would. That's basically his beat these days. Yeah. So, I mean, look, overall, this is huge news. The most important part is getting those subsidies extended so people don't get completely fucked over or left out in the cold with no health insurance. I would say another important part, though, is you're really, again, seeing what I believe are cracks at the beginning of the end for this MAGA bullshit. Mike Johnson is feeling the heat, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, and some of these Republican districts, you have in upwards of 70,000 plus people that are affected by this.
Well, that's it, man. I mean, to me, that's one of the cruelest parts of Trumpism is that they fuck over their own people first. It'd be easier to have more sympathy if these folks weren't, if their whole motivating belief system wasn't own the libs. But I think that's a big difference between liberals and conservatives these days. Is liberals want everybody to have health care, and conservatives want everybody to go fuck themselves unless they're kissing Trump's ass. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that, man.
No, I think that probably covers it all. I was trying to think what we could go to next. I'll take a look at the comments, but it was I'll throw this one up. That's nice. Maybe if it won't freeze. It was a terrible weekend on many fronts. So I'm kind of like, all right, how do we come out of here where like things are better? But I know it's just not been a good couple days.
No, it's a shitty couple days at the end of a shitty month, at the end of a shit year, at the end of a shit decade. I mean, it's just kind of how America's been going since 2016. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. But there's also a lot of good we need to talk about. Just before we came on today, I saw three things that made me want to throw my phone through the fucking window, including Trump adding really shitty captions under his portraits of presidents at the White House. And I thought, I could feel my blood pressure raising. I was like, I'm going to be mad about this all fucking day. And then I saw a guy, I believe he's the mayor of Evanston, Illinois, or he's running for mayor. And I saw him walk out to where Greg the Gasser Bavino was trying to act like a tough guy. And I saw this mayor walk over and confront him. And I realized...
Wait, for people who don't, I just barked. I just muted because Moose is barking. I just barked.
You just barked?
Man, I am... anyways, I'm...
Well, now you have to. Give us a little bark.
No, is there like a barking... They have like a barking soundtrack here. I'll tell you guys a story later about this morning when Allie and I were making coffee and stuff, and something I did this morning where I was like, okay, I have officially lost it. Moose is barking. I am muting. But for people who don't know who that asshole is from ICE, always a good reminder if you want to share.
Yeah. Well, he's the head of Customs and Border Patrol, the enforcement, and he's a little monster. He, every time Trump sends one of these waves of goons into an American city, Bavino is the guy who's leading them. He did it out here in L.A. He's done it in Chicago. He went to Charlotte. Now he's back in Chicago. He's a little shit, and we found out this week. Trying to remember who did. It was the Chicago Sun-Times did a really deep dive on Bovino, and they found out his dad actually killed a 27-year-old woman drunk while he was drunk driving, and basically got off from it. So you can see being a complete piece of shit really runs in this guy's really runs in the family with this guy. For those who don't know, Bovino is actually Spanish for piece of shit. No, I'm kidding. It's cow. But yeah, no. I guess my larger point though was. America's rising up. Trump still got his title, his job. Republicans still have majorities, but the fever is breaking. We're seeing Americans are standing up all over the place, whether it's the mayor of Evanston, whether it's protesters everywhere you look. I saw a clip the other day of people pelting ICE officers with snowballs. Because look, these people have crossed lines. They're assaulting pregnant women in front of everybody. Look at what they did to Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I mean, they tried to disappear that man forever. And when it didn't work out for them, thanks to the heroic efforts of someone like Chris Van Hollen, they decided they were going to smear him. They decided they were going to do everything they could to destroy his life. And they've lost over and over and over again. So I guess I just want to remind folks that there's a lot of shit out there to be scared, sad, angry about. But take comfort in knowing that the tide is turning, and it's not going to be like this forever.
I did put up a photo of this asshole with his Nazi-like Border Patrol jacket, just so in case anybody had not seen that photo.
You know what you call someone who dresses up like a Nazi?
A Nazi?
Fucking A right. Unless they're in a production of The Producers.
That was that almost felt like a trick question, but when someone says that they're going to bark, they might not get the answer right.
Maybe it was the racism dog. It wasn't Moose.
Yeah. Bark. So Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer. I mean, I feel like we can't ignore that, despite the fact that we're all still processing it.
I know you had a relationship with him, man. I'm so sorry. It's the thing about a guy like Rob Reiner is we all felt like we had a relationship with him. He was just one of those larger than life American people that you've seen, that's been a part of your life for so long that you felt like you knew him. I think therapists call that a parasocial relationship. But I mean, it's funny.
We wouldn't know because there's no real therapist here.
Right. But we do go to plenty of real therapy because as y'all can tell from the newsletter, we fucking need it. No, it was just one of those strange coincidences of life that I had watched the original Spinal Tap on Saturday night. And, it's just one of those nights where I was just sitting there thinking about what an absolute genius that guy was and just how much great art he made. And then got the sad news the next day. And then I watched the Spinal Tap sequel, which is really, really wonderful. It's very charming to catch up with those guys all the years later. But Rob was a big part, or plays a big part in the sequel too. I don't know, man. What do you say about the guy that made The Princess Bride? I mean, what do you say about the guy that made When Harry Met Sally, or Stand by Me, or who fought like hell for marriage equality in California?
Right when you said that, I was trying to pull up a photo of him and Michelle to put up on the screen, and the first photo that popped up was a photo of them standing in front of a HRC campaign.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't that say it all? It's not, the first clip isn't of him standing in front of a movie poster. It's not him on a red carpet. It's him standing in front of a group that fights for equality. Jesus, if that doesn't sum up Rob Reiner, then I don't know what does.
And he was so, as was she, but he was so far ahead of our times in terms of, when Harry Met Sally, basically they showed all these old clips. A lot of There's a really great CBS, I can't believe I'm saying CBS, but back in the day special on him where it just talked about like his garden in the back and whether he had a green thumb and like what it's like to actually kind of carry on his father's legacy. And one of the things that he talked about, right, was these were just there. This wasn't like some alien invasion. He was just taking real stories about real people and the way that they affected kids and families and all that kind of stuff. And during that early show, he was always talking about even like equal pay and other things like that, years and decades before others were.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people. I live in LA. There are a lot of people in this town that attain enormous success, and they only use it to make themselves even more successful. Trump's a good example of that, right? Like the more you get, the more you want. There could not be a more clear antithesis to that than Rob Reiner. Rob was invested in people. And that's why when he died, you saw story after story of campaign volunteers who were working phones. And Rob Reiner came in and sat down next to them. And he asked more questions about them than they asked about him. Do you think when Trump finally kicks the bucket, anybody's going to be talking about him like that? No. It's going to be a bunch of neo-Nazis and fucking assholes talking about how great he was at owning the libs. There's not going to be some great legacy achieved that they can look back on. I don't know. I'm confounded. I tell you, I got really mad yesterday. I don't know what it is about Threads, but that algorithm there is like set up to make me fucking hate everybody. So I opened it up yesterday and I saw all these asshole Trumpers. Well, I wish he hadn't said it, but you kind of have to agree because Rob Reiner said this, and it's like the Christians of this country need a damn good talking to, preferably by Jesus, because they seem to have lost their way. And if you're making excuses for that tub of shit dancing on Rob Reiner's grave, then you have lost the plot. You're doing that. You still think you're the good guys. I don't know how to get through to somebody like that.
Well, and as we pointed out the other day, with Donald Trump's comments, I mean, like the second time he doubled down and he was calling him deranged. It's like you've got the president of the United States calling a dead man deranged, as you and I were talking about, speaking in third person. Like, if that ain't fucking deranged, this piece right here that's up on the screen, that's true as far as I know. I saw this in CBS, that the original ending to When Harry Met Sally didn't have the two ending up together, but then they fell in love. So Rob talked about how the ending to that changed because of the course that his life and hers did during that show.
I'll tell you something I didn't realize till this week is the woman who says I'll have what she's having. And I guess that was Rob's mom. I didn't know that.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that either.
I would think that'd be the coolest part about being a director, is like being able to put your friends and family in movies. Like Adam Sandler's wife is in every movie he makes. Maybe not every.
And most of them, and his daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It would be nice.
It's some Nepo shit. Like, it's not the kind of thing I would normally be on board with, but I don't know. I think, I guess if people have the opportunity to work with their family, I would too.
It would be nice to at least like be able to choose your ending.
Yeah.
At least your fate for a short period of time. Someone said, and that line was an ad lib Billy Crystal came up with. Yeah, I mean,
I am an absolute sucker for a little movie of trivia like this. I love that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked, not to go back to the whole thing, but it's just like when it was reported that Larry David and Billy Crystal were like the two neighbors that came by during everything. It's small world out there.
I tell you what's wild is for the last few years, I've been hearing about Conan O'Brien's Christmas party. Like they joke about it on Smartless, the podcast, all the time, like how exclusive it is. The night before this happened, they were all at Conan's Christmas party, and I guess the son, I guess the son had been making a lot of people there very uncomfortable with his behavior until he was asked to leave. I don't mean to confound the tragedy here, which is something fascinating to me, but like, man, I kind of want an invite to Conan's Christmas party. That's it sounds like it's a absolute blast. I don't know. I see
Probably
him on.
better than the guy that just got out of prison.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's better than the White House Christmas party these days, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, just to sort of wrap this, come around full circle, it's just devastating. You know, it is. It's devastating twice. There's the shock and horror of it happening, and then there's the president of the United States going out of his way to make the grief of millions of Americans worse. Uh, it's the injury and the insult, right?
Yeah, and what's always odd about the timing of everything in life is there's always like additional context and stuff. And one of them, right, was that Rob Reiner was just interviewed and discussed the murder of Charlie Kirk.
And couldn't have been more gracious.
And the other piece is, in terms of everything that Charlie Kirk said about free speech and so forth. This was not a political thing. This was a family, by all accounts, that had every single resource in the world at their disposal and did every single thing they could to help their son time after time after time. And even with everything that they had, it still wasn't enough to get him the help that he needed. So, if you put that into perspective with all of these other families that are struggling, if they can't do it, who can?
Yeah, no, it's well, let's not say there's no hope, because for a
No,
lot of
I don't
families
mean
there
that.
is. But no, I mean, you make a really good point. Addiction is such an evil, insidious, and cunning disease. It's one of those things you think you've got licked, then it pops up somewhere else and like a whack-a-mole. Um, I don't have any good answers here other than we have got to treat this shit like a fucking disease and actually start going after it like a disease. For so long, we've treated it like a character flaw, and only in recent years have we started, appreciating the disease side of it and going after it like that.
And it might not just be addiction. I don't want to speculate, right? But for instance, I'm more referring to the fact that even if you take away the addiction piece, I'm talking about families that have people with, paranoid, schizophrenia and other stuff like
Yeah.
that, where oftentimes it's hard, depending on who they are, right, to actually like force them and take them and check them in type of stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have any good answers. And the truth of the matter is, I don't think Mr. Reiner did either. I think, sometimes there aren't answers to these really fucking big, scary questions. Um, I mean, it wasn't a lack of love. We know that. And
Well, and that same party that you were talking about, there's been, a news reported that Michelle was talking to folks that night about how she just didn't know what else she could do. They were just doing everything that they could do.
yeah, well, I mean, we saw this with Joe Biden, the way he talked about Hunter. If you've ever had friends who've had kids go through addiction, I think about my own mother. I think about how exasperated she often was at times that she couldn't get through to me, that she couldn't find somebody to get through to me, that she felt like she'd lost me. We were very fortunate that when I got help, it helped. And I got my family back. I got my sense of purpose back. I got myself back. Not everybody's that lucky. I tell you,
You're making me think, by the way, he's got his own set of issues, but I do like Morgan Wallen songs. And you're making me think of the song Thought You Should Know, where it's him going back. I don't know if you know the song, but him going back talking to his mom about
No.
the same topic.
No, I don't listen to racist fake ass country bitches. So no, I'm not a Morgan Wallen fan. No, I guess the last thing I would say about this, and let me preface this by saying I'm not a doctor. I'm not an addiction specialist, other than I had a serious fucking drinking problem for a lot of years. When I was in treatment, I sort of had what I think is a realization, but let's call it a theory. It seemed to me that addiction comes in degrees of severity, not unlike cancer, in that there's some people when they go to the doctor and they find out they have cancer, they find out it's terminal. And then there's some people go to the doctor and they've got a
like
melanoma.
Jack Schlossberg's sister.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then there are people who, like I would say in my case, it was more akin to like a melanoma, right? Like if I hadn't done something about it, it was going to kill me. Um, but doing something about it wasn't. I mean, it took a lot, but it wasn't the Herculean effort it would be for other people, I guess. Um, I don't know, man. I don't even know where I'm going with this point. I guess I'm just trying to make clear that it's just none of this shit is easy. None of it's black and white. None of it's simple. It's all hard. It's all messy. It's all tragic. And it would be really fucking nice if we had a president who acknowledged that or could see that instead of just trying to score points off something like this. Anyway, I'm looking at some of the comments. And I just say I really appreciate all the we have we have good readers, man, good people who care about other
Wow.
people, and it's nice. It's anyway, I feel like I've been rambling for like 10 minutes without saying anything.
No, I think that you said a lot, and I think the other thing that this is going to come across as like terrible to begin with, and but in totality, I don't think it should make sense. If you take like P Diddy and then you take Nick Reiner, when the arrest and charges first came with Nick, the original announcement, which ended up getting changed by the judge later on, was that he was being booked with a $4 million bail. Now, do I think that P Diddy should have ever been able to have bail? Absolutely not. But they never even suggested he could have bail. They ended up changing that later on with Nick, but the idea that all of this happened, right? And he's going to be using whose resources, the people that he killed's resources to pay for his attorneys, and they had set bail at $4 million. And the way that press conference took place, the only reason I'm mentioning the press conference the night before, which was probably like 8 o'clock your time, I feel like it was 11 o'clock ET, Sunday night heading into Monday, there's just another component that just feels so broken too, right? It kind of felt like, just reaffirmed how fucked up the LAPD is, and as where they're denying X, Y, and Z as there's confirmation from the family and the mayor. But also, I'm glad that they ultimately took the bail back. But thinking as well about the family like Romy and stuff, because I just don't know what it would be like you're basically losing 3 people in your life all at once.
No, that's exactly right. I can't imagine either. And I mean, I guess like there's a part of me that's angry and wants vengeance, right? Like there's that human side of us, but does Nick Reiner really need to be in a prison cell for the rest of his life, or does he need to be in an institution for the rest of his life? I don't know the answer to that, but I don't know. It seems like
and neither may matter because they're looking at bringing the death penalty.
I mean, again, I don't know how you sentence someone to death when they're mentally ill. I mean, I know America loves to do that shit, but
I totally agree, and I assume that that'll be the defense. But
yeah,
the fact that they're talking about murder 1 charges times 2 seems to suggest that they know something about some premeditation. But I agree. I just don't. I've never been a fan of the death penalty.
No, me neither. And I mean, look, maybe that's the other thing is like, maybe we learn more that makes us less sympathetic. Right now, I'm sympathetic to someone who's an addict and who's mentally ill. If there's more to the story than that, then we'll update our opinions. I think the reality is it's just an overall shit, fucking awful situation. And no matter what happens to that kid, it's never going to make it better. It's never going to bring them back. It's, I don't know. It just sucks, man.
Yeah. I think that is correct. I don't know. There's more to say on that. But
let's talk about Vanity Fair.
Won't be bringing up Morgan Wallen again. All right. Yeah, please.
Man, I grew up with like really good country. Like
and there's some really good
and Merle and Johnny Cash.
Look, and there's some of them that are still around that are good people, like Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. But we'll move past them.
I think of them as new country too.
They are new country, but they're people we can talk about without anyone having any issues with. Oh, look who's here.
Oh, hey, Kyle. What's up, buddy?
Wow, nice, cool logo. Very Very like
He said hi,
80s.
he said that. I imagine him saying it like the Jim Nance Masters golf tournament voice. Hello, friends.
I think it's more like, hi, friends. How we doing?
I love that. But I have to tell you that I've been kind of in a pissed off mood all morning, but doing this, looking at the comments, it's really put me in a good mood. I'm starting to get that holiday feel. I've been watching Christmas movies and eating way too many Christmas cookies, and I'm starting to get the spirit.
All right. Well, let's see if we can add to that. How about we'll do a little of this, put some Christmas lights.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. We'll switch it up a little later. Okay. Back to Vanity Fair.
Yeah. Man, what a fucking mess. It's funny. I've seen so many people like, well, Susie Wiles isn't an idiot, so she wouldn't have done this by accident. It's like, who the fuck says Susie Wiles isn't an idiot? Like, have you seen the guy she works for? She doesn't seem that bright to me. You know, the idea that winning an election based on racism makes you some kind of fucking genius seems kind of crazy to me. But yeah, for those who haven't seen it, and surely everybody has seen it, Susie Wiles gave 11 interviews to Vanity Fair over the course of a year, in which she she fucked over everybody that works in the White House. The best part is like
including herself.
Right, including herself. But the craziest part is like they're all like, well, she was taken out of context. It's like, okay, tell us about the photo shoot. How was that taken out of context? You got to hand it to the photographer, man. It was like they were shooting animals in the wild, and they wanted to get like the raw like beast mode of some of these freaks. The close-ups of Caroline Levitt's lip filler injection sites. Oh my God, I think I'd walk into the ocean. And little Marco standing just almost as tall as a fucking desk lamp and bending over staring at his shoes. Like, what was even the instruction from the from the photographer when he's like, could you look like a defeated and broken little boy, please?
Yeah, there were like a couple
oh yeah, that's my
ones.
go-to pose.
Couple ones were like basically like one compared it to the photo of someone standing like that in Blair Witch, but the other was kind of like pretend that you like just pissed on the carpet and like you're too sad to turn around. And then I don't know who it was, but they put like a little line above his head, and it was like, you must be this tall to be president of the United States.
Oh my
like
God,
it's going
that's
on a
so
ride.
funny.
And then there was a speaking of which that you just mentioned, I got to pull this up for the photographer. Anyways, keep going. I'll send it to myself so I can show this because I don't know if you'll see it.
No, it's just been nonstop, and the crazy thing, this is a White House that doesn't believe in reality. And so they had a coordinated pushback yesterday from every cabinet official, every administration official, basically saying all of this was taken out of context. Like, sure, okay.
And Scott Jennings, don't forget him.
Right. But none of them said it was made up. None of them said the quotes weren't real. And I tell you, you got to hand it, Whipple is the reporter's name. You got to hand it to him. He stood by everything, mostly because he's got it all on tape. Before we got on here today, though, we saw, remember Rachel Bade or whatever the fuck her name is? And if your answer to that is no, then you must be like every other person in this country.
Well, I was about to correct you with the last name. And I was like, I'm sorry, we're supposed to pretend that we don't know her last name.
I actually don't know. What is it, Blade?
I think it's Bader or something. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I really don't know.
She's the Politico trash who's been kissing Trump ass for the last year or so.
He now has a podcast with Sean Spicer, and Dan Turrentine, who I used to work with and sit next to for years.
He must be very proud of himself these days. He's hanging out with really cool people.
He has not changed much at all.
So Rachel has her thing going with Sean Spicer, and she tells us today that, they've circled the motherfucking wagons around Susie, and just really embarrassing shit. But that's the thing. Trump has a group of loyal reporters who will regurgitate any bullshit they can put out there. I'll tell you, this
Can
really
you see this photo?
Me.
Because this was posted online, and somebody said the Vanity Fair photographer was like this.
I can't see it.
Okay, well, it's Leo DiCaprio doing that like laughing face from one, what is it? Once Upon a Time, behind the director's camera.
Oh my God!
I'll send it to you afterwards. There's also a comment that Kyle flagged that's like, show all the memes. So next time we're just gonna have to do like one big meme here.
All right. No, I was just gonna say something about what Rachel is doing to Mr. Whipple. When you have a scoop like Whipple and Vanity Fair did, it's fucking terrifying. you are the only person with this piece of news, and you know it's going to explode, and you know what it's going to bring down on you. And it's a really scary, lonely place to be. It's also a really exciting, awesome place to be. But a reporter with a scoop is it's an isolating feeling. Um, when I was covering the Obama White House, I had an interview with Press Secretary Robert Gibbs, and this was just after the Obamacare had passed. Um, and I remember I went to Gibbs's office. I had an appointment with him, and I was just going to talk to him mostly about the 2012 race and who they were worried about running against. And I started talking to him a little bit about how a lot of people on the left had been very critical of Obamacare. And man, he just went off. That's where the phrase or the term, quote, the professional left came from, was that interview. And it was one of the biggest stories of my career. It published on a Monday. Gibbs didn't come to work that day. He didn't do a White House briefing that day. He had a deputy do it. And it was so fucking scary. Like, it was exciting that people were happy for me and cheering me on. But at the same time, I was sort of waiting for the full weight of the White House to come after me. Um, to his credit, Gibbs never publicly disputed anything that was said, never attacked me as a reporter. There was somebody in the building who told Keith Olbermann, who had an MSNBC show at the time. I don't know if he was living with a 17-year-old Olivia Nuzzi yet, which is my understanding of that timeline. Apologies if I'm getting that wrong. But somebody in the building
Which is
did tell
wild
Keith.
when you go back and you like think about all that, what you know now, or what you're
No, yeah.
still
Well,
learning
what I was going to say was Oberman went
based
on.
on
Oberman went on his show
what
that
you
night.
were doing at the
I
time.
don't know what's happening here, but you're like in really slow motion.
Just to compare those timelines.
Our connection's messed up or something. You're frozen.
Yeah, I saw it too. It looks like it's back, but if for any reason can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm frozen.
I can hear you.
You can keep going, and if I don't unfreeze, I'll just restart my computer. But you can keep going. Yes, I'm lagging. I'll be right back.
But
you keep going. It'll keep you on the screen, and I'll restart my computer quickly.
Okay. So here's what I was going to say. When that happened, Oberman went on his show and suggested that somebody in the building had told him that the conversation was actually off the record, and I had broken a cardinal rule of journalism. At the time, I was not a big name reporter. I worked for The Hill. Having somebody in MSNBC spread a lie like that about me was infuriating. And I thought about that watching people like Rachel try to run interference for the Trump White House at the expense of one of their colleagues. I guess here's the thing. If the goal is truth, then why the fuck are you defending, the White House? Anyway, it bothered me. Did we lose Adam for good? Is this just me monologuing for the rest of the day? Let's see. Adam went all Max Headroom. Ooh, I get that reference. Nice. Let's see. Spicy, not spices. Fucking spell checker. Man, I've been there, Catherine. I love what was said in the article regarding the richest man in the world in ketamine. Yeah. Susie said that Elon is an avowed ketamine user, which, again, I think we all knew that. But what was really funny about that was when she told the New York Times that she would never say such a thing. And then the reporter was like, well, here it is on tape. Wouldn't you love to see like the next logical progression there, where somebody says, well, if you'll fucking lie to us about this, why would we believe anything else you say? Wouldn't it be really cool if we brought back the concept of credibility and it like meaning something instead of it being an infinite resource? Yeah. So I don't really know what else to say or do. Adam kind of left me hanging here. I am now officially Garth from Wayne's World. When Wayne walks off the set, I'm having a good time. I guess we can wrap up early today. I did have a holiday message I wanted to say before we parted this week. There's a lot of dark, ugly, scary shit going on right now. And it can be easy to let that darkness into your brain, into your heart, and think, there's just no joy this holiday season. And what I would say to you is if that's where you land, then Trump has won and Trumpism has won. They want you to be miserable. They want you to be scared. They want you to be a fucking mess like they are. To me, an amazing act of resistance this holiday season is to experience joy and to spread joy. It's the most anti-Trump thing you can do is have a happy holiday season and have help somebody else have a happy holiday season. I used the word antithesis earlier. That's the antithesis of Trumpism, is enjoying yourself, being happy, and helping other people be happy. So welcome back. Seriously, man, I
how's
thought
your
my
show?
fucking head was gonna explode.
I got a little palm tree beach Santa up to make up for everything that just happened. But if you are watching and you're in the comments, please save the Substack comments and email me. I'm about to drop my email in here because Sam loves his comments.
Yeah, I really do. It's like one of my favorite. The only frustrating thing is I read them and I wish I could respond to them, but by then we've like logged off hours earlier. So there's like I'm responding in my living room to nobody in particular. Like a couple weeks ago, we were talking about '80s movies, and somebody was like, "Oh, I love the movie Better Off Dead," and I was like, "Yes, I wish I'd thought of that movie." And like I wanted to talk about like you owe me $2. But anyway, it was way too late. Yes, watch a Rob Reiner movie tonight. My suggestion today and always is This Is Spinal Tap, which is one of the funniest movies ever fucking made. But yeah, it's watch a Rob Reiner movie tonight. Do something nice for yourself this holiday season, and do something nice for somebody else too. Make you feel good.
I think that's good. Did you already talk about your board?
No, I didn't. So this would be my happy ending. The thing I did to make myself happy, I got myself a Christmas present. I actually got it like a couple months ago, but I ordered a custom surfboard on top of the Laker one. Yeah, I might have a bit of a problem. I don't have kids. This is what I spend my money on. But yeah, I'm moving down to an 8.2 from a 9-footer, and I'm really, really excited about it. The only thing is I have a torn MCL, so it's going to be a few months before I can get on it.
What do you call that? Putting the board before the donkey, or?
I don't think that's an expression at all.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it sucks. I've got like a couple months of rehab, but I find that it's very motivating when I'm grinding through physical therapy,
as opposed to faux therapy. So many great comments. I put my email in there on Substack just in case somebody can grab those. And I don't know. I think that's good. Maybe we can get together again on Friday or something.
Yeah, maybe. We're going to do a couple more of these before Christmas, so we won't leave y'all hanging. Oh, and by the way, we grew up Christmas guys. I'm from Owensboro, Kentucky. I think I knew 2 Jewish families the whole time I was growing up. But fortunately, one of them was kind enough to teach us about Hanukkah when we were kids. Anyway, I just want to say Happy Hanukkah. It got off to a shitty start in Australia. Shitty doesn't quite describe it accurately. Evil. But anyway, I did want to finish by saying Happy Hanukkah. I feel like sometimes I forget to do that.
Happy Hanukkah to everybody. Happy anything that you guys are celebrating. Okay, this was great. I will. Everything's just popping up now that we restarted this. I'll give it 60 seconds on the way out, and then I'll end it. Just so if people are finishing up stuff in the comments, and hopefully we'll see you at the end of the week.
This was fun. Thanks, everybody. Love y'all.
And thank you guys for continuing to support the newsletter. Talk to y'all soon. Yeah.